pleasant morning to each and everyone. I am Rinaisan Regidor Mamak, a third-year college student of Negros Oriental State University, currently taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Sciences. So today, I will share some information to you about the topic that I have learned best from my class Ed 305. We all know that as the student progresses through life, record keeping and reflection becomes an expectation, and portfolio suits best for this. So what is a portfolio?
A portfolio is a purposeful, systematic process of collecting and evaluating students' assessments to document progress toward the attainment of learning targets.
A portfolio can either be summative or formative. So it serves the purpose of an extensive records of the student's best work and skills.
And there are two types of a portfolio. First is the document portfolio, and second is the growth portfolio.
The first type of a portfolio is a document portfolio, where it shows the student's work that illustrates achievements.
And this includes, first is the celebration, where it shows the student's best work. These are the accomplishments or the achievements that the students are mostly proud of. Examples for this are the best projects and the high scored test. Then the next one is the competence, where it shows levels of achievement reached in relation to learning targets. Followed by the project, which illustrates competence on completion of a single task. For example, you've made a unique project out of a brush where you make it as a rice fields, while some of your classmates create their own themes using the Nivea cream, the USB, the padlock, the wallet, and the broccoli. Through this, we can say that there is a competence in completing the project, for each of us has different ideas and perceptions and things.
Then the other major type of a portfolio is the growth, where it shows students' improvement over time. For example, their drawing from the first day of school compared to their drawing at the end of the semester or at the end of the school year.
Here is an example of a drawing, which is the before and after drawing. As we can see, the drawing from the first day of school is not that good compared to the drawing at the end of a school year. For in this stage, the student doesn't have any experience yet, and they are not yet knowledgeable enough on the do's and don'ts when it comes to drawing. But through practice and the time he spent to it, the student's drawing really improved. You can't learn something in just a blink of an eye, but in a gradual manner. And through portfolio, we can truly see the improvement of a student's work.
If a portfolio has its own types, portfolio also has its own advantages and disadvantages.
For the advantages, first is it engages student in self-evaluation and reflection, where students can reflect on their own work. Next is it focuses on self-improvement and not on comparisons with other students. Then, it enhances student motivation, where it motivates students to do their best in every activity. It also focuses on student strengths, on what they can do in every activity, on every performance. And lastly, it promotes collaborative and student self-assessment. And here are some of the disadvantages of a portfolio. First is it is time consuming. It is time consuming to develop criteria, score, and meet with the students, especially in these pandemic times. Then the students may not make good selections of which materials to be included in the portfolio. And also, the parents may find portfolios difficult for they don't understand what portfolios are and its benefits. If you plan for a portfolio assessment, you need to do these things first. So first is to establish a purpose, where it involves both the learning targets and proposed use. Just like if it is used to illustrate what the students can do, then only best work is included. And if it is used to show growth, then early artifacts are compared to the later artifacts. Next is to determine the practical aspects of portfolios, if it is paper or digital. After the practical aspects are set, determine the nature of the content, where the content includes student and teacher evaluation and work sample. Last is to determine stated self-reflective guidelines and scoring criteria.